Here we are going to find the formula by using piecewise defined function. You can see that we have already a graph and domain is given, but we have to use these domain or points to find our formulas. Firstly, you can use the slope formula that you can easily write it as y1 minus y2 and then m, that is going to be our slope, and you know that it is also line slope equation. So we will use the first part of our graph that starts from an origin and goes to 1 and 1. That will be our abscissa and ordinate. We will use these points to find the slope of our function. I am using the origin values x, x1 and y1, and y2 and x2 will be 1. So we will cancel the negative values from both sides and our slope will be m. So next we will find the equation of this function. Let me erase this whole space because we have already find our slope. So the same formula is for this line we can use, but in this we will use only the one value of our points, order pair, to find the equation. I am going to put the x2 and y2 values and that is over 1 and our m will be 1 and our x1 and then our x2 is also 1. So now we can multiply 1 inside the bracket. I am raising the slope that is equal to 1 again to make the space, and you can see that I am going to place my minus 1 on the other side, and when we transfer it on the other side, you can see that we have to change the signs and it will become 0, and we have x1 is equal to y1, or you can simply write it as y. You can also write y1 as equal to y, that is our function, and then I'm changing the x1 value to x, that is the domain. So we can arrange the values of our domain that starts from 0, and you can see that x is greater than and equal to 0 from this colored point, and you can see that from this hollow point that it is an open point, so our x is less than 1. So here we complete our first part of piecewise defined function. Again we will use the same procedure to find the slope for the second line, and then we will find out the equation of that line. And I am using, you can see that over here our x value is 1 and our y value on the x-axis will be 0. So here our points will be 1 and 0, and it ends at the order pair 2 and 1. So I am using y1 as 1 and over y2 will be 0. This is the m, that is the slope, and again our x1 will be 2 and x2 will be 1. And from this you can see that after subtracting we will get 1. Again our slope is 1. Now we're using this same equation to find our equation of this line. So I am using the order pair 1 and 0 on the value of y2 and x2. Is equal to 1, that is our slope, and x1 minus 1, that is our x2. By multiplying the slope inside the bracket, you can see that we have these values, and there is no use of r0. So again I will replace the x1 and y1 with simply y and x, and this will be our formula for second part of our function. And now I will define the domain that starts from 0 and ends at 2. Sorry, it starts from 1 and ends at 2. And you can see that we have a filled color point over here and over here as well. So we can say that our domain x is greater than and equal to 1 and it less than and great and it is less than and equal to 2. So by this method you can easily find out the formula of a piecewise defined function.